I've always loved gardening. Flowers, vegetables, a couple of fruit trees. It's my therapy. But to HOA Karen, my little slice of paradise was nothing short of a personal insult to her existence. She didn't just dislike my garden, she declared war on it. And trust me, when Karen goes to war, she brings her clipboard, her binder of rules, and enough drama to power an entire soap opera. It all started when I planted a row of sunflowers along my fence. Beautiful, tall, golden. To me, they were sunshine in flower form. But to Karen, oh, they were weapons of mass destruction. She stomped over, sunglasses glinting, binder tucked under her arm. Karen, these monstrously tall, unkempt weeds are in blatant violation of community aesthetic standards and must be removed immediately or face dire consequences. I laughed and said, Me, Karen, they're sunflowers, not nuclear missiles. She gasped like I just cursed at the Pope and stormed off, muttering about suburban anarchy. The next morning, taped to my door, was the first of many HOA letters. Bold red ink. Violation. Unapproved vegetation. I half expected it to say, Execute the sunflowers at dawn. My neighbor Dave walked over, sipping coffee, and chuckled, Man, Karen's acting like you're growing a rainforest in the suburbs. But Karen wasn't joking. She sent more letters, each one angrier than the last. By now my garden was thriving. Roses, tomatoes, basil, sunflowers, even a little bird bath. It was gorgeous, and that's exactly why Karen hated it. She cornered me in my driveway, wagging her finger like it was a weapon. Karen, your so-called garden is an eyesore of epic proportions and a direct assault on the carefully curated harmony of this neighborhood. I raised an eyebrow. Me, funny, the bees, butterflies, and half the neighbors seemed to love it. She hissed, snapped a photo with her phone, and said, Karen, we'll see what the board thinks when I present exhibit. Suburban jungle of doom. So there I was, sitting in a folding chair at the HOA meeting. Karen stood before the board, binder open, eyes blazing. Karen, this homeowner has transformed his lot into an unregulated farm of chaos. Overgrown, unsightly, offensive to the very core values of this HOA. One board member sighed and said, Board member, Karen, it's flowers. They're flowers. Karen slapped the binder. Karen, not just flowers. Weeds, abominations. A horticultural nightmare unleashed upon us all. When it was my turn, I simply held up a photo of a little girl from down the street picking a sunflower from my yard, smiling. The room chuckled. Karen turned red. Defeated at the HOA, Karen went nuclear. She called the city. Next thing I knew, a city inspector showed up. He looked around, scratched his head, and said, Inspector, this is actually beautiful. Why am I here? I pointed across the street. Me, because Karen thinks sunflowers are a crime against humanity. He rolled his eyes so hard I thought they'd get stuck. Inspector, you're good. Keep gardening. Karen screamed from her porch. Karen, you're all blind to the chaos before your eyes. Here's where it gets good. A few weeks later, the local gardening club announced a best garden competition. Guess who entered? Me. Guess who also entered, fueled by spite? Karen. The day of judging arrived. Karen had slapped plastic flowers in her yard like it was a discount craft store clearance bin. Meanwhile, my garden was bursting with life, colors, fragrance, bees buzzing in harmony. When the judges came by, Karen practically dragged them into her yard, shouting, Karen, observe the flawless symmetry of my artificial blooms. crafted to perfection and devoid of offensive organic chaos. They smiled politely, then strolled into my yard. Their jaws dropped. One judge whispered, "This is award-winning." And guess what? It was. I won first place. The neighborhood rallied around me. People stopped by to compliment the garden. Kids picked flowers. Even grumpy old Mr. Thompson said, "Mr. Thompson, kid, this place smells better than my cologne from '78. Meanwhile, Karen? She sulked. She stopped mentioning the garden altogether. But I catch her sometimes, peeking over the fence, scowling at the sunflowers like they personally insulted her ancestors. So yeah, Karen hated my garden. She tried to shut it down with letters, meetings, inspectors, and even a competition. But in the end, my garden wasn't just alive, it was award-winning. And now, every time I water my sunflowers, I make sure to wave at Karen's window. Just a little reminder that sometimes the grass really is greener on the other side. And in my case, greener, taller, brighter, and officially first place approved. Thanks for watching. If you love this HOA Karen Meltdown, smash that like button, share with a friend, and subscribe for more crazy neighborhood stories. Trust me, there's always another one.